And we gonna kick it off. What's popping, my people? How's everybody doing today? What's going on? What's going on? What's up, Jason? What's happening? I know Gabriel's at work, but
Morning, brother.
there he is. There was Sam was popping on the stage in the cut. I see you. We got Mateo getting on the other device. See you too, bro. What up? We got Justin sick in the cut. Appreciate everybody pulling up today. Marcus is on a Zoom as well, and he'll be hopping on here afterwards. We just literally wrapped up a presentation. Look at that. That's just like you speak to this man, he literally appears. Crazy. But it's good to see everybody too. Is this your Zoom user? All right, bet. Just making sure. But in that, good morning. Hey, what up, though? What up, though? But with that, y'all, we're gonna get things cracking today. I'm excited, truly. This book, oh, had to get peeled out here. Shout out my barber. I'm back. I can record my what I do videos. I cannot feel self-conscious. I'm excited. But with that, y'all, we gonna get this thing kicked off today. I'm really excited to read this book and also just hear everybody's take on this book. I know Mateo has actually read this book prior to getting on this call as well. He sent me his notes that he had taken the first time he read this. So it was really dope to look over his notes and then just also understand exactly what we're about to talk about. I haven't read this book in over 10 years, y'all. It's been a long time. So reading it is like I'm reading it for the first time, literally. So excited, just like Marcus looks right now. He's over there clapping and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But with that, y'all, we're gonna get it cracking. What up? What up? What up? So in that, who would like to kick us off this morning? Let's go, Jason. I low key want to kick it to Mateo just because he has prior history, but you ain't got to kick us off if you don't want
You
to.
want me to you want me to take the ball, bro?
Take the
I got
ball,
you.
brother. Kick us off this morning, man.
Hell yeah, let's do it. So let's get in here. Going straight into it. Would you just like me to start literally with chapter one? Just kind of like start going over the first chapter, just roll right with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically
honestly, bro,
just
whatever stands out to you or you resonated with. It doesn't have to be absolutely everything, but we use it just
Yeah.
this. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone because we got the PDF. Shout out to you guys for the resources. Honestly, the fact that you guys have so many books like in PDF form, those books are all like $10, $15 a piece, sometimes $20 or more. Like, bro. Um, okay. Yes, sir. So when I actually had this book, like the physical version, it was a lot thinner than I thought it would be. And with that being said, I thought it would not be as valuable as it was just because of how small it was, right? Like sometimes big things come in small packages, low key. You heard? Pause or zoom. That being said, I love this book because it's something that is such a like it's such a mindset switch that you have to make in your approach to entrepreneurship and to everything in life, literally. And we were honestly, in my opinion, brought up very opposite to how this book talks about rejection. Like when we're going to school and the teacher asks you a question, you're kind of taught that when you raise your hand and you answer, you have to be correct. Or if you're taking a test, you have to get the right answers. You have to get a good grade, right? You have to study, 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 and then failure is not encouraged in school. But in real life, in entrepreneurship especially, you're tested first and then you study. It's backwards, it's opposite. So with that being said, failure is not something that you should avoid. It's something you should actually encourage and chase because the more times you fail, you have to fail fast and break things, move fast and break things. That's one of the best sayings I've heard from my mentors before is you have to move fast and break things. And that being said, you just have to like really encourage failure because from each failure comes a learning lesson, comes an experience that you can learn from and then operate off of that new information to then do better the next time. And I mean, the very first chapter, let me go in here real quick. Yeah, so like this book I remember too, it goes into like it's a story form. So like it's a story. And that's honestly some of the best ways people can learn is through stories. I mean, the Bible's written through so many different stories of people, right? The storyteller is the most powerful person in the world. So um this first chapter, starting off three for three, literally it just talks about how this person got on 3 calls, closed them all, right? Good feeling, awesome. But in my mind, and I think the book kind of talks about this a little bit, and it kind of wants you to think about this in this way. If you call 3 people before noon, like right now it's 12 p.m. Eastern time for me. So if you call 3 people before noon and you close 3 sales or you do 3 deals or you get 3 people into a contract, right? You should be aiming for not 3 deals. You should be aiming for 3 failures, because if you knew that if you could become financially free and quit your job after you got 100 no's, then how many no's, like how fast would you want to get told no? If you knew it was 100 no's away from literally quitting a job, then you'd be like, all right, I need to get told no 20 times today. So that way, 5 days from now, I can quit my job. That's the mindset you should have. Like the more times you can get told no, the faster you can get to what's on the other side of those no's, which is exactly what you're looking to do. But that's my rant. I'm pretty much just like literally just went all in with that. But I want to pass it off to somebody else because I know you guys all have some unique things to share as well. But I appreciate you for listening.
You can pop.
You said what?
You can popcorn anybody, big dog.
Oh, okay, fire. Let's see here. Sam Trades. You got some good things going, bro. I know you do.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, Mateo. I appreciate everybody showing up on this Saturday book club to open this new book. Because I mean, it's crazy. The timing of every book that we've read has just been so dead on. Shout out the leaders of our organization because they are keeping us in the forefront of their minds, and it's just a testament to their service to their people, and it's really a beautiful thing. And they love us, and we love y'all, guys. Um, Man, what really resonated with me in the power of no, or the go for no, is the power of rejection, man. It's the one thing that we fear other than not being good enough and not being loved. Everybody it has the fear of rejection. That's what it really stops is the fear of it alone stops you from just moving. And man, just a personal story this week as I've been sending just like DMs, just chopping away at the market. Man, I had somebody reply to me and he was, all for it. All right, great. I'll hear you out, man. When's a good time to hop on the call? And I was like, all right, you have Zoom? And right after he's like, no, I don't have Zoom, but I'll get it. Right after that, I was unable to send a message anymore. And turns out, oh, he blocked me. And and instead of like being like, man, why this guy block me? Like we were having such a good conversation, bro. I took it as like a win. I took it as like, oh, knowing the power of no and knowing how strong of a no that was, it just made it. I felt with that specific no, I'm so much more closer to my yes. And that's the mindset that I know this book is going to be trying getting us to implement into our lives. We're scared of them just saying no, like that's the worst thing they can say. And so once we get over that fear, once we get over that the fear of the rejection from ourselves, I mean, that's it doesn't hurt. It doesn't sting. It's not personal. Just understand that it's just business and it is what it is. We got to get through our numbers. It literally is just a numbers game. And so that was what I resonated this week. I know there's a lot of chapters, so I'll stick to my one because that one just hit home when I was reading that. Like that was like, yo, I know I'm going in the right direction because this I'm going through my nose just to get to my fire yeses, and so that's really what I would employ y'all as y'all are chopping away at the market, sharpening your axe. Um, just don't take the nose personal because everybody's on their journey. And we got to meet everybody where they're at, knowing the gap that we've been pouring into ourselves. And so, man, I just encourage every single one of y'all as we've been pouring into our minds, pouring into our hearts and ourselves, just stay close to the campfire, y'all. It's exciting. We're having double digits on this call, y'all. Like it's exciting. Our campfire is growing. People are noticing. And just remember, we are so early. We are so early that these no's that we're getting now are still yeses in the future. Like, and I know we'll get there in the book. I know. So, man, I'm excited for y'all. But that's as far as I got as far as this book this week. I'll just stick it to one chapter. And let me see who. If I see Amani, do you got some energy to give us, girl? Good morning. I appreciate all y'all.
Good morning, everybody. It is so good to be back in freaking book club. I missed y'all. Your girl's been, uh, girl, I've been all out and about going through it, but I'm here, fresh book. Happy to share this beautiful Saturday morning with you lovely people. Um, let's see, I've listened to the book and I just want to clarify something really quickly. Is the chapters like really short? Okay. Because it kind of like, I got to chapter 7 real quick and I was very confused. Like, okay, how did
There's
I
like
get here?
30 chapters in it too. So whenever I was going through and like planning out the weeks, I was like, this is gonna be a quick one, but it's good. It's jam packed. So I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you
Okay.
listened.
And then to be fair, chapter 6, like, he just jumped to the future of his life, right? Right. Okay. Okay. Because I'm like, either this audiobook is wrong or
Yo,
I
I thought I
am.
was tripping reading the wrong book too for a second.
I was like, what? Yo, what is this
Bro,
man
this thing
talking
is
about?
what?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's just start there because that threw me off. All of a sudden he looks up. He got a maid. She talking about what's wrong with you, bro? And he's like, "Hey, I he was like, "Who are you? Like, what's happening? Where's my wife? She's in Europe." And he's just trying to figure it out. I'm very curious. I was so close to going to chapter 7 just to be able to know what the hell is going on. But I stuck to the sanctity of book club and I decided to wait. So I'm itching for next week so I always read closer to the end so I can keep everything fresh in my mind. But that threw me off because I was like, okay, what the hell is he talking about? But from chapters 1 through 6, there was these highlights of him having these moments of intuitive thoughts in his head where he would say no and he kind of went against it. And I don't know, they were so fast. I don't remember exactly what chapter it was, but he was talking about how he had um, started his week off good. Monday, he made 3 sales and he only had one more to make his quota. Next thing he looked up, it was Wednesday night going into Thursday, and he was just like, what? Like, where did my week go? And there was moments in that week where he kept saying in his head, like, it's really like that intuitive thought to really trust yourself on those moments. Because he said, like, even when the dude came at him with the focus group, talking about his only, 90 minutes tops. Like, bro got out of there at 1 o'clock. He was hurting. Then he wanted to go do golf, and the only time that he could do was 10:30 when he was supposed to be making his quotas, and he said that in his head like, nah, maybe I shouldn't. But then he found some magical excuse to be like, you know what, it's fine. I'm already ahead. Let me I never miss a sale or anything like that. So it's like good. It's like good that he trusts himself and stuff. However, he heard the no in his head and he went against it. And that next thing you know, the next day was gonna be Thursday. So like that kind of puts a lot of pressure, which is no like pressure is good at the end of the day. Like I don't mind a little pressure. Um, it's just a little different when you have that feeling of coasting where everything's more lax and pressed and your mind is more focused. I believe a lot of mistakes can come from those moments of a person being so rushed and feeling that can like, oh my God, what is another word? Because in my head, I'm like, got him out here discombobulated. I can't think of another word right now, but like that's literally it. And so I really don't know what's going to happen in chapter 7 because how his life jumped. I needed to know what was going on with the rest of the situation. Like, what happened? Did he actually make his quota? I mean, obviously he's wealthy, got a maid now. He's out here writing books, and she's over here like, bro, you're an author. Like, what are you talking about? And then he hit his head. So what is going on with this book? Okay, I just need to know. I want to know. I want to get caught up. I want to hear it all. But I do. Sam hit it right on the head. This book comes in a fantastic time. I'm like, uh, okay, so mind you, I've had the craziest month, literally starting March 1st till now. It's been so, I can't even explain to you the craziness that has been going on. It's been like, I'm in a whole new chapter of my life, right? So, um, today my leasing agent um is not coming in, and she was supposed to come in on Thursday. This is a quick side note. She was supposed to come in and leave. Her last day was going to be yesterday, but she made a mistake because she wasn't paying attention. So her last day was supposed to be today. Crazy stuff happened. She couldn't come. Now my boss is asking me to come in because I'm the manager, and I'm just like, I want to say no so bad because I'm not feel like I have a conference next week. I'm out here allergies. This Austin wind is kicking my ass, and I'm over here like just ignoring just ignoring the text message. But my office does need to be open, so I'm like kind of on the fence. I want to say no, but I don't know how to say no. Right? Then I have two parties to go to today, and I love these people with all my heart. I just to like I want to be in my bed. I want to take all the allergy medicine in the world and not even worry about a soul. However, I feel like that weird obligation. So I'm hearing him say this, and in my head I'm like, just say no, just say no. You don't have to do this. And I don't know. I'm just gonna lay in bed until I can figure it out. But hopefully this book will give even more clarity on the word no. It's so crazy because I was just reflecting about this yesterday too, about how I don't even really want to go to these parties, but I really do like care for my friends so deeply and I love supporting them. And one of them helped me move. So I'm like, ugh, kind of don't want to miss that, right? But I know I need rest. I know I've had a lot going on. So I really need the time to recalibrate and reset my nervous system. So what's a girl to do? Who knows? We'll see next Saturday. I'm gonna popcorn Jason.
Hey, what's going on? Appreciate that. So actually, this is my first time reading this book. I'm a very, I'm a person that I need a physical copy and don't send me to a PDF. I look at my phone enough. I'm not trying to look at it while I read a book too. So that's a little bit why I like the physical copy. But yeah, this book was kind of a throw for me because I mean, it was very short. And like Imani said, it's like, yeah, you go from this guy just made some sales, and then I'm in the future 10 years. I bumped my head playing golf, and all this stuff was happening. I went back a few times too to make sure I didn't skip some pages because I honestly thought I skipped some pages. But what I really took from it was like the subconscious programming that we pretty much have like throughout our life. And then life is truly about choices, not chances. Because what if he did actually say no to those things? You know what I mean? What if he didn't actually even get those 3 sales on Monday? Like what if those didn't happen? You know what I mean? Like it lets you know that every choice that you make is going to direct you somewhere. And the choices that he didn't make directed him somewhere he didn't want to go. So the way I look at it is sometimes we look for yes so much and we're so focused on yes that we forget to say no ourselves. And it's not like you're not trying to be there for people and stuff like that, but you yourself, you're sacrificing so much for a goal that you have in mind that only you can see at some points. You know what I mean? Especially when your family's around and not supporting you the way that you want to, but you have that goal and vision. And the moment that you stop telling yourself no, meaning, hey, I really need you to be here and blah, 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 but you're like, oh, no, I can't do this for myself. I have to go do this for them instead. That's fine. But how many times are you going to tell yourself no before you finally tell yourself yes? Because we are looking for yeses from somebody else all day. The moment we send a message, we're looking for yes, 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 but yet we can't even say yes to what we want. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the beginning of this book is, do we have that subconscious programming altered? Yes, I believe so. We're so used to just wanting to
wanting to get to our goals as fast as we can, but we forget like in the middle that like who we truly are along the journey, that it is a journey, and don't that's why I think it kind of like flipped. Like I could be trying to go under surface level, but I feel like that's how he lost so much in the in between in a way. And that's why I kind of skipped us to the future is because of like all the choices that he didn't make or that he did make, or hey, here's the end. Here's the end product, but I'm not going to show you the in between product because you might say no. You know what I mean? So there's so many things that can tie into it. That's pretty much all I got from one through seven. It's a really short read, but I'm excited to see what this read can bring from here. Ugh. Let's see. I'm gonna popcorn. Let's go. Anastasia is here. Is Anastasia here? 2, 1. What about Justin? Can we have Justin?
I'm here. I'm just a little like sick, so I was gonna hold off. Let's speak
Okay,
it.
okay.
Mhm.
Let's do Gabriel then.
All right, brother. Yes, sir. You have a good one. Stay blessed. So, from what I got from the book and what I hear from y'all as well is this. Can y'all hear me, right? Got y'all. Can y'all
Yes,
hear me?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So basically, the power of saying no to things and the power of failing as well. Because ultimately, when we fail, we always going to end up learning regardless. And when you fail, you always supposed to fail fast. Don't even dwell on being a failure. Don't dwell on all these doubts in your mind, regardless of any situation. You know what I'm saying? So, and even in times where the young fella was essentially saying yes to everything but himself, was really like focusing on failure for him, because why can't he just say no to y'all and let me just focus on my goals instead? You know what I'm saying? I even struggle with that as well, just saying no to people and not going all in for myself to even have the time to say yes, because when I got time, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what I got from all of it. If y'all heard me correctly and heard me right. So, you y'all hear me?
Yes. Yes, sir, bro. Thanks for sharing. You can popcorn whoever, fam.
Um, I really can't see the chat. Hold on, my phone really moving slow. But let me see. Amber, I pop on Amber.
What's up, guys? Hey,
How you doing?
cakes, everyone. Um, so the book Fire, and it is like short, and I love that it's in a story form. And I think it was Mateo who said it earlier, like the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. And that's true, and that's something that I've like side note, that's something that like is just like a true fact and something that I've been embracing also. But back to the book. So I just love how it's in a story because I feel like that's just so good for learning, because it's not like we take in so much information. So to be able to hear an experience is just so good. So one of the biggest takeaways that I took from it, and honestly, this was a little bit past, no, it wasn't, but was basically that like sometimes we project our limits onto other people, right? Like we assume what like their ability, and like when we're asking for a sale, when we're closing, or when we're even like pushing somebody just to do something, like, even for themselves. I feel like sometimes we easily project like our experience onto them, and that was just something that stuck out to me. And I feel like we got to watch that, because I feel like I do that as well. I've done that before, like growing up. I didn't grow up, having a lot of at all. And so when it came to investing into myself and um, spending the money that I needed to spend to grow, at first it was difficult for me. But afterwards I started like pushing that muscle and growing that muscle. And then I feel like sometimes now I feel like I either do one or two things. I either like will be will project like like how much money I think that they have, or I think they're working with based on like my experience at that age, and like, try to keep it comfortable for them, keep it like around that. Or I will project the burning desire I had, which was to like invest all the money that I had very recklessly into myself, which all paid off in the end. Don't get me wrong. That like I'll project like that also too. And basically, like I realized, we have to like heal from that. We have to heal from projecting our own limits and our own experiences onto others, and really understand that we're giving value. And one thing, we're giving value, and two, I think the biggest thing is like the detachment of
Daddy.
what we're
Yep.
experiencing. Like,
All right, bro. You smooth. Yep.
um yeah, like the detachment from them, from closing. And this is something that I had to learn like a lot, because I was like very attached, and I like had, insecurities about what people thought about me, and with people pleasing and all of that, like it didn't help. And so those were aspects of myself that I had to become aware of, that was like stopping me from closing, from really, making money, to be honest, and like allowing myself to receive. And what was I gonna say? I'm sorry. It's like last point. It's just the fact that like it's never about you. Somebody else's limitations and someone else saying no to you is never about you. Like it really isn't. Um, at the end of the day, there are so many psychological reasons why somebody is going to do something, or especially like when it comes to their money, and it's rarely, rarely ever about you. It's actually never about you, to be honest. You know, there are so many factors, like so many different factors. Um, and the more that I feel like we also get good at doing that for ourselves, the more that we'll realize it in other people. Like, so this is what I thought about. So you know how like recently in the past couple years, like you can people ask for tips for like everything, like Starbucks, like there's like a tip everywhere you go, right? People are just asking for tips, right? So there was like a part of the internet that was like really upset about that, just like angry, like, oh my God, why are they asking for tips? How come they're asking for tips? And I'm like, I just feel like they're mad that they can't say no. Like, you can say no, you can not tip them if you don't want to, but I feel like they're being pressured, and they're like to ask, and they don't feel comfortable saying no because they're afraid of whatever. And so they, like, I'm like, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to, but we shouldn't stop someone's ability to ask. You know what I mean? It's asking, you shall receive out here. Like we have to. So I'm actually like proud that out there. And so basically saying that to say is like when someone says no to you, it's not about you. And there's this one coach that I listen to, I always like get her emails, and she basically says that she was like, I don't like go through objections or nothing like that. Like if they're not ready, that's about them. Like they're just not ready to be seen. They're just not ready to allow themselves to be there. Like it really isn't about us. And so for us, or our as like sales, business people, we have to have that persistence, and to never give up, and to not take it personally, and to not really judge ourselves, and to really understand that like if someone says no to you, like for example, Sam, like that person like blocking him, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen all the time. And it literally doesn't mean anything about you whatsoever. And in those moments, what happens in those moments is it makes you question yourself. It makes you insecure just for a moment. But what we have to do is start taking those moments as muscles, as exercise moments, and realizing like this is the time right now in this moment to switch my thought about how I think about myself. Because what's going to happen is that those situations is going to trigger your insecurities about yourself, right? So whatever you're thinking, like whatever comes up in your mind of why you think that they did that, it's not even true. It's not even about them. That's how you feel about yourself. And it's going to show you how you think about yourself. Like if you think that you're being annoying, if you think that like that's what's going to come up. So in those moments, it's the moment to look at that and be like, okay, not true. That happens actually anytime you get rejected, that's what happens. Like those abandonment wounds come up, those trigger wounds come up, and all the things you ever thought about yourself come up. So in sales, that's why sales is I feel like sales and like trading specifically, it's like a very spiritual experience, because it's just showing you yourself the entire time, right? You're having to face what you think about yourself every single time. And so what we gotta do is get good at how we think about ourselves. When we get good at how we think about ourselves, like all is well. You know, like you just know, like you just know that their no means nothing about you, and you keep it pushing, you keep it moving. You know what I mean? And so that's the biggest takeaway that I got from this chapter. Let's see. Let me popcorn. Justin, are you ready now? Or did you go? You look ready. But if not,
I could talk a little bit.
yeah.
Hmm. I mean, I just kind of read it just now, and I kind of got a better understanding of everything with knows. But something I could definitely say that I like resonated with was the idea of how he couldn't even believe where he got. So like kind of what you literally just said, Amber, like it kind of like matched up with what I was thinking. I was like, the fact that he's telling himself, no, this is not where I'm at. This is not what I'm doing now. It's like the belief system it was put into place to where it kind of, you know, it shows that how we think really can have a big impact on ourselves. And the fact that he hit his head and he just woke up and he just like in a I don't know if it's a mansion, a better house with a maid and stuff like that. That's kind of crazy to me, honestly. And I don't know, like it just shows that there could be like a flip switch in life for you that if you just, take action in certain ways, if you just get yourself in that uncomfortable position, if you take like the initiative, if you do things that you probably didn't want to do, or you take a risk or anything like that, it shows in my head, in my opinion, that there's an opportunity at least for you to reach that path. And just for him to wake up and he's there where he probably wanted to be, it's kind of crazy to me because like I don't know, it just shows it's real and it can happen. And just the idea of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and knowing there's a light, it kind of makes me have a lot of inspiration and a lot of motivation. And it feels real because growing up, I never knew how to really get there. And I never had the idea that getting there, like I never was able to formulate that idea, oh, there's an end of the tunnel. But as I grew up more and I started putting myself in front of things and relating to it, it kind of like pushed me to think on that level. So I definitely give props to this book for that because it makes me feel more pillared in that thought process. And yeah, that's it. I don't know who to popcorn to though, because I think everyone practically won, right?
I
Roshi?
think it's Roshizi, Marcus, and Mikhail are the only ones that haven't went.
Oh, Roshi, if you're there.
What up? Thanks you guys for sharing your insight. I didn't read these chapters, so I will share from what I've heard thus far. And well, I came in, I think Jason was talking, and then also what Amber said, kind of. So from what I heard, um. Yeah, I'm glad Amber mentioned people pleasing because that's what the first thing that came to my mind was while y'all were talking was about people pleasing and how I don't know if y'all know, but like people pleasing is a form of manipulation. Like I'm going to um do what it is that I think you want from me so that I can actually really get something from you. You know, I want to please you because I want you to like do what I want you to do for me or whatever. And so like when I learned about that, I was like, oh, people pleasing is actually really self-centered, but like not in a good kind of a way. Like it's so that's what I thought about. And like being able to say no to things like is really powerful because I think about that movie Yes Man with uh 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 what's his name?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, thank you. The goat. I think about that movie and like, you know, like how do I don't know how to verbalize. So like it's okay to say no to some things because not everything is for me and not everything serves me. And on the opposite end of that, like when I get told no, I think there's this saying that like sometimes when hold on, I have this in my notes. Just give me a second. Give me a second here. Um, because I can never remember it. But it's like I can't find it. But it's like something about how if things don't like work out the way that I thought they would or that I want to, it's just really like God's way of redirecting me. Like